Hello friends, thanks for visiting. Once again, it's Helen with Helenistique. Today we're going to go over my A5. This A5 is doing amazing things right now, trying to organize me through this part of life where kids are starting school again. I've got a lot of work projects going on that are important with very hard deadlines. And then we have the budget sections, let's see, the projects, the goals, notes, lots of meetings going on throughout time. And I've got some new sections in here. Well, not sections, but different inserts in here for my monthly and weekly. So let me show you what's going on in here. So this cover and everything, a lot of things are from cloth and paper because I ordered separately to set this up, as well as some things from the subscription boxes that I've been receiving, and I love them. I love cloth and paper and what they're doing, and so I appreciate all things in here. I did recently just get this. I always wanted to try this out, and it's working out very well. So I'm keeping all my photos in one section and not like all over the place like I used to, which is kind of cool. So when I open up my binder, it's all here and it makes me really happy to open it up. Then we have our monthly section. I did order this from Cloth and Paper just because I wanted to see like their layout. It seems like between 2025 and 2026, which is next year, their paper has changed a little bit. It's thicker this year, and then it's a little bit thinner of a vellum next year. So there's that. Here's mine, and I've always had this. This is part of this bundle here with the 2025 calendars. Inside here, however, I did switch up my actual monthly calendars into this new one that's also in my shop, and it just simply, it's a monthly calendar on 4 pages. It starts with the inbox, then it has the monthly flow of the calendar, and then it ends with a habit trackers where I can track 3 different habits for each given month. So basically all I'm doing here is writing down all the things, just using it as a brain dump. I don't necessarily go back in here back and forth anymore. I used to have this one inbox for the whole month. Now what I'm doing is I'm not using this calendar as much anymore, and you'll see why. I'm still tracking those things, but I don't know if I am going to be tracking it in here. We'll see how this month, but for the most part, what I am doing now is, let's go into this month. This is last month, so I was just starting to pick up this planner last month, so you'll see how I was playing with it. This is last month, and things have changed a little bit from there. So this is the weekly from last month, and I used it very well. Okay, so there's this month, and it's separated by my monthly tab divider here, and then from Infinite Lotus, and then here starts my new month. So this is what it evolved to, and I'm gonna be putting these up onto our members section only, just for you guys to take a look at it, and you guys always get the first dibs. Those of you who are joined as members, it's $4.99 a month, and you get, you know, different things that I design that are not yet up on the shop. It starts with a monthly, basically a monthly on one page. It has all the calendar, and a lot of it, because you don't have that much space as you do over here in the regular monthlies, a lot of symbols are in there. So I decided to put those symbols and kind of a legend here on important dates. I have the birthdays signified here with a birthday cake that I drew in, and then the payday with a $sign, a little ribbon for drop-off carpool days when I have to pick up my son from his school signified there. Yellows are my office days, and then hard deadlines or important dates to be remembered are all kind of listed here, so that when I am looking at it at a glance, as I plan out my weeklies, I can come in here and look at the week and say, okay, what are all those things? And it's all here. And then I have the intention. So like this month, for example, I put plan and execute. Dreams become goals when you plan, goals become reality at execution. I love that, and every time I come in here, I get to kind of look at that and say, hey, my intention this month is to really plan and execute, plan and execute. And then the next section is habits and challenges this month. So of course, a lot to do with the Habits and goals that I want to stick to this month is stick to a budget, hit the gym 5 times a week, cash spend, read a book. So my daughter and I decided we're going to do like a little book club, my 15-year-old and I. So we already picked out a book and ordered it on Amazon, so it's going to be arriving tomorrow. And then it has one move the needle task per day at the minimum. So that is something that I want to stick to. Part of my intention, and then just like sticking to my new habits and challenges this month. Then we have this monthly tracker. So I don't really need this habit tracker so much because I am tracking a piece of that here as well. So there are 10 slots, and it goes together very well with our weekly layout, which has 10 slots every week to track. So if, for example, in a given month, I decided I'm going to track these 10 things, every single week, I can also track those 10 things. So I don't have to necessarily come in here all the time, but I can just update it one time as I close out the week. So that's kind of cool. The 10 things that I'm tracking: yoga, cook at home, read, productive, spending quality time with my honey, and then YouTube when I post YouTube, and then Instagram versus my other office stuff, and then 7+ hours of sleep. So I'm just kind of jotting down what I'm talking about and what my intentions are there. And then this month's focus also has all the brain dump. So this is the reason why I don't really need to have this so much anymore. I can use this as a brain dump, kind of like a messy pre-plan, and then I can use this to actually jot down what's important, and that is going to be like the move the needle stuff. And there's an extra page for that because sometimes I run out of room. And then I have a place for notes. It goes straight into the weekly. So what's cool about this is that it's going to be called in the shop the monthly reset bundle. So monthly reset kit is what I think I called it currently right now. Basically, it just has the whole month that you need, everything you need to reset a whole month in this bundle. And that's how I designed it. So you'll see all of these pages that I'm sharing with you right now in that bundle. And I think it helps because sometimes, you know, we're kind of lost. And we're like, oh, we want to try a new monthly or we want to try a new weekly. But sometimes you just need to just like print it out or just order it and just have it at your door and it's ready to go, right, for the month. So that's how I was feeling. And so that's why I created this. So this is the weekly. And let me share with you a weekly that is empty so that you don't have to feel overwhelmed here. Okay. So here's a weekly. It has kind of a Hobonichi look and feel to it, which I love. You guys know I've been using Hobonichi weeks for many years. So it has the horizontal layout, but in a amount of space where you can write down your schedules for the week. So you really know what's going on. So you don't have to always glance at the month, but you can always have this, and you're like throughout the week, once you set up the week and reset the week, all you have to do is kind of look at this page. So we got the schedule section there, and then we have the habits, the 10 habits that we talked about that you're listing out here, and you're listing here. And then priorities, these are like move the needle things that I am jotting down from here. I'm taking it from here and putting it here. And then all the other tasks that come up, like incoming, like inbox stuff, you know, throughout the day. You're just like, oh, mom, I need new shoes. Okay, let's write that down. That kind of thing. And then, and if I'm not going to do it on this week, I would just write it here. Get new shoes. And then a note section. I really appreciate it, just a blank grid note section right now because I've been using it to jot down like cook time or cook meal options. And what else have I been using it for? Like quick meal options. I always put it here, and then like waiting on stuff, things that I'm waiting on from my office people. I am journaling sometimes, but I seem to always put meal options there. So as I grocery shop, I could also put grocery list here, but as I grocery shop, I'm writing down all the meal options that I have in the home. So that's been cool. And then just jotting down notes too. I just been jotting down notes. I've been journaling. It's really good. And if I'm in a quick meeting, I can just like jot it down here without feeling overwhelmed. Like, where am I supposed to put it? Because a lot of the times my note section, this section gets lost. I don't actually necessarily go all the way back here to reference all the time. So I don't like that. So what I've been doing is just using up these kind of empty gridded pages. Then it goes straight into the dailies. Everything is dated. These have not been dated because I was just testing these out in the beginning, and I realized I like dated stuff, you guys. So here's my dated dailies. So it's daily on one page, and every day. The structure is very similar to your weekly. So if you look at the weekly and how that looks, where's my weekly? Right here. I'm just taking the schedule for the day and I'm putting it here. And I have kind of blocked it into 4 sections. The reason why is because I like time blocking. But in this moment in time, in this season of life, I am not looking at like exact hour by hour every 10 minutes, which you guys are used to me doing in the PLC bundles. That has been amazing, and I'm sure it will be in the future as well for me. Right now, I just kind of need a structure of broken down into 4 pieces of my time throughout the 24 hours, not even 24 hours until about 10 p.m. So it starts at about 5 a.m. and then 10 p.m. So what I do is I break it down into morning. Half of it is morning and half of it is afternoon or p.m. And so this is early morning. This is like drop off if I have my carpool duty on that week, drop off, or kind of like morning tasks, early morning stuff, routines that I want to keep up with, or planning, that kind of thing. It was early morning here, like 5 in the morning to about 10. So 5 hours, early morning stuff. And then I have the second morning, which is from 10 to 12. That's where I do a lot of deep focus stuff. I'm not really strict on time necessarily. That midline is my lunchtime, whenever that is. And then the afternoon, this is like my kid duties, pickup duties, activities, going to yoga, that kind of thing. And then after yoga is when I reset, and it's like now family time. So this is where I cook. This is where I do intentional stuff like reading or journaling, peacetime, watch TV. That's why I have 4 sections there. And then it's priorities and tasks. And this top section is blank. And I love that because I get to jot down quick things that I want to remember during that day. The day before, as I kind of close out the day, I write down for the next day, like, oh, remember this. When you have a team meeting, these are important topics to discuss. This is what you're waiting on. Then just the schedule of kind of how my day is going to flow. So I don't necessarily do all of it, but I know, for example, like 2 and 3, I have to pick up my kiddos for sure. Like that's not a question. And then also I have 4:15 yoga class to catch, and so I know like this time slot is going to be filled. And here right now is like film YouTube. That's where I'm at right now. I don't necessarily follow it in sequence. What I do is I'm just kind of jotting down in the early morning hours, this is what I want to get done in order to move the needle and kind of work with my schedule of tasks and priorities, and then approve orders and like do my budget. Like that's what I want to do in the later morning and before my pickup time. And then it's going to be like cook, for example. It'll be like cook, sweep, and close the day. So that is how I have these sections broken up. It goes all the way to the last of the month. Oops, these are empty, undated stuff. I will also be releasing the undated, you guys, because some of you guys can just do it once and print it over and over again. It goes up to September 1st because that's where the page lands. Then it goes into my schedule section, and it's all the family chores, like the home maintenance, my kids' schedules, YouTube schedules, cycle tracker, adulting logs, the yearly tracker, like when dental appointments are due, the health log, how much I spent, health spending, stationery log, all the stationaries. I still haven't written down everything. Once I do, I'm going to start selling some of the stuff. Then I've got my subscriptions, yearly, annually, and all my budget categories, my budget, my work stuff like supplies, what I've done each week at work. Oh, and what's important here to notate is in my project section, I created something cool. So this is similar to what you saw in the beginning. Here's August. So this is a layout that I created for work. And so these are like content, because I do a lot of content stuff and I do a lot of marketing stuff. I do a lot of business development stuff. And so there's lots of hard deadlines that I have to hit. So that's what this is. So these are hard deadlines. And then I would put all the tasks, even if it's like during the week, it doesn't matter if I finish it on this day or this day, but I put all the tasks that needs to be done according to this, the hard deadlines. And then I go through and check it off as I go. So as much as I can, I'm just kind of running with it. This is the shop. I haven't planned that out yet because I'm very busy at work. I haven't even put down all the hard deadlines, but I do have a big project that's due next week. And so I have that kind of all dated out until the end of August. And then I have the finance section for the companies here, my yearly vision board. This section, I don't need. Note section, I just want to keep just in case, but I don't really need these two sections anymore. The goal is great, but everything else, I think I might even take it out. We'll see. But that is the end of this binder. I absolutely love it. The reason why I don't have a cover for it, I do have two covers. Well, I have like 3 covers. That is optional. But what's happening is I have this one. This is the A5 cover from Louis Vuitton. I don't have much in here. As you can see, it's very thick here too. So I have this Louis Vuitton A5 option. And then I also have this as an option, which is just the cover. It's an agenda, desk agenda from Louis Vuitton. And so I have this option as well. It fits very well in here. Why I don't have it is number one, this cloth and paper, this back cover here, it fits, but it doesn't fit. It's kind of like really, really tight. So if I really wanted to get it in there, I can, but then the cover doesn't close correctly. So I would have to use this cover, which is this from Daiso. Kind of flimsy and much smaller, so this would fit in here. So when I do have days where like I'm going somewhere to the office or like I'm on a business trip, I'm sure I'll be like squeezing this in here and then it will just work fine. I've tried it already, so this will work fine. This is always readily available. This one, I also can take out the front and back covers, these hard covers from Cloth and Paper, and I could fit every paper in here just fine. So I could do that as well. That's always an option. The reason why I'm carrying it like this right now is because on my desk, I just am falling in love with the spiral situation. So I am at my desk just working like this, and it's been amazing. So I have like my daily section, for example, I would have the daily and I would just have it on my desk like this and I'm just working. So I love that. I am even considering half letter because for me, anytime I set up a new planner size, it's cool because I get to offer that in my shop, that size. So let me know in the comments down below how many of you guys are interested in half letter, because if I have enough people, I mean, like even 5 of you guys, my friends here on YouTube, if you guys are interested, I am definitely up for creating this whole setup in a half letter and then offering it in our shop as well. The half letter, what's cool about it is even this is simple and it's like it works as a spiral, but then whenever I want to take out a piece of paper or anything, like I have to, it's like it's work, right? So I don't take out paper at all until the end of the month. But I think what's cool about half letter is they're disc bound, and so let me show you what a disc bound looks like. So they're disc bound, and so I kind of played with this. So what's cool about disc bound is you get to take out the pieces of paper. It doesn't do anything to your paper, and then you get to put it back in. And from my understanding, half letter, this is a 6 disc bound, but half letter is like 8, I think. And that's cool because then you could take in and out the paper. One thing I did realize is when I have the binder like this, what happens is this thing is so thin from Infinite Lotus, which I love. I don't want it thick, but it just like rips off and it goes like this on my desk. See, like that, just ripped off. That bothers me. But with a half letter, because there are 8 discs, they won't rip off, I think. I might be completely off. You guys, let me know if you have experience with half letters. But I just am in love with this whole like spiral situation right now. And so I would like to keep this. We shall see. So that's it. Thanks for sticking around. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.